every person, every guy I bring into my training camp, I treat him with respect. I look after him like they're one of my own family.
Not only is it an amazing occasion, Frank, but all the elements seem to me to be ready in this one.
Tyson, you know, comes to fight, you know, Dillian does. And you know Dillian's style, he comes forward, he walks on, and you've seen Tyson in his last few fights, and his last two against Wilder, where it was toe-to-toe. So what do you think you're going to get?
Dosper talked about a lot, didn't he? He won't fight this, he won't fight that. Who's a coward now, coward? Who's a shithouse now? You useless.
The veteran versus the hot up-and-comer who will win 10 rounds in the heavyweight division live on the zone from one of the leaders of sports and entertainment in the world.
Tyson Fury warns Dillian at the press conference, standing shoulder to shoulder with young powerhouse Moses Itauma. It's more than words. It's a public show of unity and a clever mind game. In front of cameras, Fury's presence alone puts extra pressure on Dillian before the first punch is even thrown.
I think he's one of the best of all time. I really do. I think he's one of the best heavyweights of all time. And his movement is so different. One of the things that was interesting, where they were talking about the fight, and AJ was, Tony Bellows was talking about when he fought him, and AJ was saying that when he fought him, it was the most exhausted he's ever been. Because he's always moving. There's no rest with him.
No rest.
There's like.
At the press conference, Dillian doesn't just aim his words at Moses. He fires a cheeky shot at Fury too, calling Moses nervous, while threatening to batter the whole team is his way of mocking their unity. But underneath that bravado, you can sense it. Both Fury's presence and Moses' confidence are chipping away at him. Now, Buddy McGirt steps in to break down the fight plan from a trainer's perspective. Buddy McGirt strips it down to a simple truth: drag this fight into deep waters. It's a polite way of saying Moses needs to drown Dillian's stamina, test that engine, and make him work every second. If the young gun can control the pace, Dillian's experience won't save him.
Yeah, he's got to go to the deep waters. You know, I mean, unless somebody slips up and get caught early. But, you know, we got to get him into the deep waters. That's the key.
Ben Davison doesn't sugarcoat it. He calls Moses a generational talent. No right time, right place. Excuses, just pure belief and skill. That's the kind of praise that rattles a seasoned fighter like Dillian, because it tells him he's not facing a prospect, he's facing a future world beater.
Factor. I don't think Moses needs to catch anybody at a certain point in their career or anything like that.
Why's that?
Because I think he's good enough. I think he's plenty good enough. I think he's a generational talent, and I think it's going to take time for everybody to see that. But I think everybody can see that he has the potential to.
Derek Chisora puts it bluntly: Moses is a young lion with everything to prove, and Saturday is his chance to roar. That somebody's going to jail line? Classic Chisora chaos, but it underlines the point. This fight could explode into something raw, personal, and unforgettable.
Close and compact. Yeah, but if you ask them, let's do like 5 punches, yeah? Better be if every punch will be hard. With Canelo, maybe first hard, and then not. Both of them are strong, but Bitter Beef is bigger. And
Shannon Briggs lays it out like an old school fight man. Yes, Moses is young, strong, and dangerous, but Dillian isn't the type to fold easily. The respect for both fighters is clear, yet there's an unspoken challenge in his words. Can Moses actually deliver under the bright lights against a man who's been through wars with world champions? Briggs knows the difference between hype and reality, and he's hinting that this fight will be the test that strips away all talk. If Moses can truly crack like the gym whispers say, we'll see it when Dillian is still standing after the first few bombs. That's when talent meets toughness, and that's when reputations are made or broken.
They're young and strong. We're gonna see if he can beat Dillian Whyte though. Dillian Whyte ain't no pushover. And I think Dillian gonna know that, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna find out if he can really crack like they say he is. But I'm hearing things that he's been dropped in the ring, in the gym and stuff like that. But that's okay too, because I took a couple spills, you know, little slips in the ring, in the gym. That's okay, but we're gonna see this.
Eddie Hearn then adds his promotional insight, placing Moses' rise in a bigger picture. Eddie Hearn doesn't hand out exceptional talent lightly, and here he's almost mapping out Moses' career in real time. The mention of a long amateur pedigree isn't just filler, it's a reminder that Moses has been molded for this stage since before most people knew his name. Promoters see trends, potential, and the marketability of a fighter. Hearn's double emphasis on rating Moses very highly is both a personal endorsement and a message to the boxing world. This kid isn't a flash in the pan. When a promoter speaks like this, it means the investment is already in motion, and the stakes on fight night go beyond the belt. If Moses wins, his stock skyrockets. If he loses, Hearn's words become a measuring stick for how far he's really got to climb.
I think if they keep winning, yeah. I mean, look, Moses is an exceptional talent. You know, he's been in the game a long time. He's got a very, you know, long-standing amateur record and pedigree.
Dillian Whyte frames this as a classic generational clash, youth versus experience. His words carry a quiet warning: just because Moses is young and hungry doesn't mean this is a done deal. The idea of catching Dillian at the right time is one of boxing's oldest strategies, and sometimes it works brilliantly, but sometimes the old lion still has enough fight left to punish the young one. Dean's take reminds us that timing cuts both ways. If Moses can't impose his will early, Dillian's experience could turn the fight into a grinding mental war. This isn't just about power or speed, it's about whether Moses can maintain discipline when faced with tricks, traps, and a veteran who's seen it all. That's what makes this more than just a youth versus age battle. It's a test of ring IQ.
You know, it's going to be a hard fight. You got a young, hungry guy, you got the guy who's a little bit older, a little bit more wise, a little bit more mature, and they think they're catching Dillian at the right time.
Andy Lee closes this stretch with a sharp reality check about what's truly at stake. Andy Lee delivers a fair but razor-sharp assessment. Moses has never been here before, but he's never shown a crack under pressure either. The phrase "right step up" is key. It means this isn't a soft touch, it's a genuine test against a seasoned fighter. Lee's warning about the fight going past 4 rounds adds a layer of suspense, because in those later rounds, stamina, composure, and heart matter more than raw talent. That's where Dillian's grit could flip the script. Still, Lee frames this as an opportunity for Moses to vault into the world's top 10, a chance to prove not just that he belongs, but that he can thrive under fire. The subtext? This fight could define both men's futures in one night.
It'll be the difference of 20 pounds, and you're in there with a guy who's been the rounds, who's experienced it all, fought Fury, fought Joshua, fought Chisora, and you're just like with Moses. He's just, not that he's a couple of years a pro now, and he's never been at this level, never fought at this level. But in saying that, he hasn't looked like he's ever gonna, stumble on a hurdle yet. It could, it's probably a great piece of matchmaking on behalf of Queensbury that this is the right step up at the right time for Moses to put himself amongst those top 10 heavyweights in the world. But it could also be a mistake. If it goes, I think, my opinion, if it gets past the 4th round, then it's a real fight. Then you'll see what Moses is made of, and you'll see how much Dillian has left.
Adi Oladipo paints a vivid picture of what it would take for Dillian to turn back the clock. The old school Dillian Whyte, fearless, in your face. The man who flipped tables in press conferences was as dangerous outside the ring as he was inside it. Adi's point is clear. Dillian can't out-youth Moses, so he might need to win the mental battle before the first bell. At 20 years old, Moses is still writing his story, and Adi hints that part of him grew up idolizing, or at least noticing Dillian's wild, unpredictable energy. Now the roles have reversed. Moses is the rising force, and Dillian is the one trying to reclaim relevance. This fight could hinge on whether Dillian can disrupt Moses' focus with mind games, or whether Moses can shrug off the antics and prove that mental toughness is part of his armory. For fans, this is the perfect collision of youth's hunger versus the veteran's cunning, a test of both fists and psychology.
To almost see the old school Dillian Whyte who wasn't afraid of anyone, would put it on anyone, because Moses is still only 20. And I almost feel like if Dillian needs a path to victory, it might start from outside the ring first, and then we'll see. Because there would have been a time when Moses has grown up and he's watching Dillian Whyte. He's watching him throw tables and throw things and charge.
Dave Allen takes a pragmatic stance. He gives the edge to Moses, but he's not blind to the unpredictability of boxing. His reasoning is interesting. While Dillian has experience, he's also had long spells out of the ring, and Allen knows inactivity can dull a fighter's sharpness. That doesn't erase the danger Dillian brings, it just tilts the balance slightly towards the fresher, hungrier man. No result would surprise me is the classic sign of a fighter who's been in the game long enough to know how quickly momentum can shift. One punch, one mistake, one bad round. Everything can change. For Moses, being the favorite brings pressure as well as opportunity. Allen's words act as both a boost and a warning. You might have the tools to win, but you still have to execute under the lights. If Moses takes this lightly, Dillian could flip the script.
I think I make Itauma the favourite just because Dillian Whyte hasn't boxed him forever. Dillian Whyte's not been active at Itauma, so I make Itauma the favourite based on that, but Dillian Whyte is experienced, he can punch. No result would surprise me, but I would go with Itauma.
Dave Coldwell closes this segment with a sharp tactical breakdown of what Dillian must do. Dave Coldwell doesn't waste words. His breakdown is pure strategy. Against a sharp, explosive fighter like Moses Itauma, the worst thing Dillian can do is fall for feints and waste energy reacting to setups. Coldwell's advice to land something early is about more than scoring. It's about establishing authority, making Moses think twice before stepping in. Body shots, as he points out, are the great equalizer. They slow down even the fastest fighters, robbing them of snapping their punches and bouncing their feet. For Dillian, digging to the body isn't just a tactic, it's a necessity if he wants to blunt Moses' youthful speed and reflexes. But there's a flip side. To land those body shots, he'll have to get close, and that means risking Moses' counters. This is where experience has to meet bravery. Coldwell's roadmap is clear, but whether Dillian can walk it without getting caught is the million-pound question.
It's a very difficult fight for him. It's a very difficult fight for him. He can't afford to bite on Itauma's triggers and feints. He's got to land something early to get some respect off of Moses as well. And it's called the body snatcher. I think he's got to dig that body. He's got to try and take away the sharpness from Itauma by investing in.
This fight isn't just another date on the boxing calendar, it's a collision of eras. For Moses Itauma, it's the gateway to the elite, the night he proves he's more than hype and plants his flag among the world's top heavyweights. For Dillian Whyte, it's a chance to silence the doubters, reclaim his edge, and show there's still bite in the old lion. Mentally, both are playing the game. Fury's backing fuels Moses' confidence, while Dillian's defiance is his armor. Physically, it's youth's relentless pace against veteran grit. If Moses wins, the hype train becomes a title track. If Dillian shocks the world, he rewrites the narrative and keeps his career alive. This is high stakes, high tension boxing where one mistake can swing the night. Who's got the nerve, the heart, and the fight to own this moment? Are you backing Moses to rise or Dillian to ruin the script? Drop your prediction below.